Okay. Good. Welcome, welcome, welcome. All right, we're going to start with a foot massage too. So I do have socks on and just give you some advance notice if you want to take them off. It's all fine. Yeah, or put them on, even better. Good. Okay. Yeah, I sit here, I just start smiling, just looking at you, joining me in. So great gratitude in my heart for every single one of you. Good. Well, let's start with gratitude. That's probably a good place to start. And I just like boom, boom, put the hands here. So feel free to lay your hands on your body or wherever they need to be. And let your eyes gently close, your chin drop, your jaw drop. Let everything drop. It's letting yourself be heavy in your sit for this moment. And then inviting in a little bit of lightness. Just starting your smile as you lift, you lift yourself up and even lifting into your heart. Dropping the weight of your shoulders. Softening the skin of your forehead. And just feeling I'm grateful for this breath. I'm grateful for this space. I am grateful for this body as it is. I'm grateful for my life experience as it is. And then adding in your own personal gratitude, blessings. Just feel them, think them, receive them. The health and wellness of your people. And as you're ready, friends, join your palms together and bow your chin into all that you have just invited into your heart. We'll seal that. We'll chant home 3 times. We'll start with a nice inhale to lengthen. Full exhale to release. Inhale fully to begin. And bowing your chin, release your hands to your thighs, to your chin, and open your eyes. And then stretch your legs as you need. Move your little feet around, and then choose a foot, but then now choose the other one, then bring it across. Any way you like, you know how to find your sole of your foot, and just giving that some attention and some love. And acknowledging deeply that this little foot has carried you through your life. This little foot has maybe worn impractical footwear and been blistered and tightened and all of that. And here we're just creating some space in the foot with your loving touch. Just taking a few more moments here, working wherever you need to. And then we're just going to give that foot its little twist a couple times. Good. And then before we leave it, take your opposite hand up to your toes and just press those toes back as much as you can. And then maybe you even point the foot with the toes flexed. And then reverse that and just press the toes down. And maybe you try and flex the foot a little bit just for this moment. Good. And then release the foot, stretch them out again, feel or see. You might even feel like a little bit up each leg, or the difference in the two legs already. Good. And then taking that other foot over and just giving a few moments of gratitude, loving attention to this foot. And just one or two more moments here. And we'll do the same thing. It's twisting the foot in two directions. And then taking the hand up and flexing the toes as you point the foot. And just finding that. And then reversing it. So you flex the toe or point the toes and flex the foot. Good. And then release. And again, just take a moment here, just looking at your feet lovingly. Good. Okay. All right, we're going to start on your backs. Pardon me. We're going to start with the sausage roll under the spine. And this could be, it can be really tight sausage. It can be a loose roll. I'm going to say cinnamon bun instead of sausage. It could be a tight cinnamon bun or a loose cinnamon bun. And I take the side of the blanket that doesn't have the open part and lay that where my hips are going to go. I do have another blanket here. It just happens to be here, and I think that's going to work. I'm going to leave it there. You don't need to do that. And then we'll just sit behind and allow yourself carefully back here. Take your time. And once you get down, I'm just wiggling myself down so that I feel, my hips are comfortable on the floor. And maybe you have a little end here you can just tuck under to support your head. And arms wherever you like, legs as you like, maybe feet wide, knees together. Sometimes this can be, you feel a little off balance. So that might help to invite in balance, or you can stretch your legs out. And then once you're here, friends, let a little or a big sigh go. Sink yourself in and close your eyes if you like. And we're just going to rest here. So what that means is you are consciously, with your great presence of awareness, allowing your body to soften over this blanket. And to start to open the breath in a different way. I'll say this to you, you might feel a little discomfort between the shoulder blades, and that's just, the pressure of the blanket. If you're okay with it, then be okay with it. And it's no good. You can always turn your hands down and just take the fingertips to the floor, lift your shoulders up, and then bring them back down and just see if that changes anything. And soften all the way down to parts of you resting on the floor. Start to also just feel into the evenness between the inhale and the exhale. And then even allowing yourself or the breath to fill up as much as it can, just not forcing it, just inviting it. And exhaling completely so you feel the breath almost moving up into the chest and down into your low belly area. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is just turn the head to the right. So you might have to pick it up and turn it to make that happen. And hopefully you're still comfortable-ish on the blanket. And then just taking a few breaths here. If you the head to the right, you just let the left shoulder drop a little bit, left side of the neck. Release and let your jaw go. And then just coming back to that full cycle of your breath. Let's just take maybe 1 or 2 more breaths. And then carefully bringing your head back to center when you feel you're ready, and then just resting in the center part here. And then lifting your head up, turning it to the left, and just coming back to the rest, the release. Letting the right side melt a little bit more. And 1 or 2 more breaths here. When you're ready, just bringing the head back to center and resting here. 1 or 2 more breaths. Okay, then we're going to come off of this. You either roll to the side or place your hands on the floor and just press yourself upright. And then we're just going to take this blanket roll out completely. And you might put a blanket for your head. We're just going to lie straight down. So whatever you need, maybe nothing, maybe something. And then just feel the grounding like that you have already done, that conscious awareness. So just feeling the back of the heart, the shoulders, deeply resting. Okay, so I have the knees bent, feet on the floor. Now we'll start by bringing the left knee into your chest, and you'll interlace your fingers. Just maybe the hands will go mid-shin, maybe up at the top. And if this is not good for you, you'll just add your strap. And then just rocking this in and out a few times. And then we're going to rest here for a few breaths. So you can keep the right leg bent, or you can straighten it if you like. And just bringing your conscious awareness to your breathing. You can add in anything you like to do here. If you like to flex the feet, but you could also just rest in and let the back body drop to the floor. Let the front body drop to the back body. Let the jaw drop, shoulders drop. And then even feeling into that left hip crease if it's starting to talk to you a little bit. Softening through your conscious, present awareness. Good. Okay, we're going to release the left leg. Keep your fingers interlaced, friends, and just put them just lay them on your tummy. And you can let the left foot sit on the floor. You can rebend the right. You can straighten your legs, whatever you like to do here. Just let the hands stay interlaced, just resting. Maybe more on the upper belly, lower belly, whatever feels good. Take a nice big breath in. Now, as you breathe out, just change the interlace of your fingers as they are. Maybe the thumb pads are just lightly touching. And then we'll bend the left leg, left foot to the floor, bring the right knee in and just pop this hand package over this right shin. Take a few moments here to just rock this right thigh in and out. And then coming to rest in this shape. So whatever you want to do with your left leg. We'll feel that you can just melt around this shape. Okay, so I know for me, when I bring this right leg in, it kind of am tilting a little bit to the right. So I'm just going to bring it in a little bit more to center so I feel more balanced on the back. And I'm just sharing that in case anyone else is experiencing that. And softening the back body, the front body, your hip crease, anything else. And keeping the fingers interlaced, we'll just pop them right back on your body. Put your legs however you like. Just be here in your breath. Okay, I have both legs extended. You can have them bent. I'm going to keep this interlace of the fingers. Flip the palms, reach up to the sky, and then start to take these arms over your head. If you need to separate the hands for your shoulders to keep them happy, do it. That's fine. Make what you need. But with maybe legs extended, arms extended. Again, just being in this shape and just inviting the back body to rest, to the floor. Front body to rest, to your back body. And then coming into the fullness of your breath, filling you, and also releasing. And take one more breath. And as you inhale, we'll just reach the arms back up to the sky. And as you exhale, release the palms back down to your belly the way they have. Keep the interlace of the fingers. Good. Inhale. And as you exhale, change the interlace of the fingers. Inhale, reach the arms up to the sky. And exhale, take them over your head. And then be here for a few breaths. Receiving the support of the floor. And consciously, with your present awareness, releasing any little tensions you're holding in your jaw, your third eye, your shoulders, your belly. Good. And on your next inhale, reach the arms up. Then as you exhale, place these interlaced fingers with the palms down on your body. Good. Okay. Bend your knees, place your feet on the floor, and then either put your hands down and press yourself up or roll to your side. Good. And then just come to sit up for a moment. Okay. So we're going to grab our bolster and our blocks. Yes, we all look so cozy. Okay, we'll take 2 blocks. Good. And we'll start with, I'm going to have one on its second height, one on its lowest height. And then the bolster will sit like this. Make sure everyone can see. So I have like, let's see, how much is that? Maybe like, whatever this is. Is this 3 inches? Maybe 2 inches apart from the blocks. Okay. And then we can put the blanket on the top just to support your head in some way. You can fold it however you like. And then we'll sit behind. Oh, I'm going to throw a heating pad in. That's a nice thing on a blustery day. And if you like a blanket, guys, to cover yourself, then bring that in too. Okay. And then we'll lie down. So tush on the floor, pretty much the same shape. As I come down, I feel my blocks are perfectly placed. There's a support under the heart, a support under the head. Okay, so if you don't feel that, adjust it. And if it's too high or it's too low, you change your blocks, take your time. Okay, I'm going to start in basic resting pose. So the feet are wide, knees together. I feel like I've pigeon-toed my feet slightly. And then I'll take the hands to the floor. I'm just going to lift the hips just for a moment and then put them back down. So hopefully that might also bring you more into this. And then, okay. Support under your arms if you like that. If your shoulders are not happy with this height and you have 2 dog beds beside you, you could use that or just throw in another blanket. Okay. Then I want you to also feel that the chin is not higher than the forehead. So if that's happening for you, just make the blanket a little higher so that the forehead is sloping down. Good. And then we're just going to rest here. Okay, you can do whatever you want with the legs, friends. They could be stretched straight. They could be in cross-legged, which I'm going to go to in a few moments. It could also be Baddha Konasana, whatever you like. You could also stay with them bent. And then just coming back to all of that work we've already introduced. Dropping the back body. Feeling the front body also relax. Just imagining whatever tension you're holding, anything that's preoccupying you, causing stress within you. Just acknowledge it. You can let it go, great. If you can't, that's okay too. Just consciously, with presence, great awareness to all that is. Let the shoulders go a little more, the jaw go a little more. And your eyes release back into their sockets a little more heavy. And coming back to the back body resting, front body resting, and to the flow of your breath. Okay, so I'm just taking my legs into cross-legged. You don't have to do that. Just as you rest here in this shape, it's going to guide you through a little bit of a body awareness guidance. So taking your attention to your third eye. If you need to touch it, just give it a little press in or a little circling just to remind yourself where it is. Breathing in and out of your third eye. Breathing into the third eye. This time breathing out through the hollow of your throat, the base of your throat. You might even bounce the breath between these two places for a few moments. Connecting to the third eye, the base of your throat. And just settling your attention to the base of your throat, imagining you breathing in and out through the space of your communication, your verbalization, your vocalization, your song. If you need to touch that space, then go ahead and do that. Now bringing your attention from the base of the throat as you breathe in to your heart space as you breathe out. And just breathing maybe into the heart and out through the throat. And just reversing that. So you're just connecting The base of the throat is a place of communication to the truth of your heart. Feeling the connection here through the conscious presence of your breath flow. And then just settling into the heart space. In the lung space, this is the element of air. It's breathing in and out into your heart space. And take a breath into the heart. And we'll breathe out through the solar plexus, just where the ribs join, just above the navel if you need to touch it. Just to remind yourself where it is, do that. And then feeling the breath. Inhaling through one heart or solar and breathing out through the other. So you connect these two spaces. The power of your fire to the power of your heart. And eventually just settling your awareness to the solar plexus area. And the place where the diaphragm lives, the center line of your body. Feeling yourself breathing in and out here. Any tension that comes in, any place, you're also aware of that at the same time. Just letting it go. Or even start to feel your breath expand through the solar plexus area, the sides of your waist, maybe even into the mid-back area. We'll just spend a few more moments here just breathing into this space between the navel and the joining of the ribs. And then breathing into the solar plexus and breathing out through the low belly area, so just below the navel, the water center. And we'll just also let that be the whole lower pelvic region. So we'll just combine your earth and water chakra centers here into the low belly. And just breathing in and out between the solar plexus and the low belly. Consciously feeling the breath here and the grounding. I'm just going to change the cross of my legs. If you're in cross-legged, you can do that too. And then just settling the breath into the lower belly. Just exploring this space with your breath. Feeling the whole pelvic bowl area, the sides, the front, the back, maybe even the top of the hip bones to the bottom of the groins. Just breathing there. And then we'll just connect this. So as you breathe in, you expand the low belly. And as you breathe out, you take your awareness back up to the third eye. And just start to breathe into these two spaces. Might even imagine it being a circular action. Or it might be linear, whatever you're experiencing, just connecting the third eye, this place where we hold tension in the forehead, to the grounding of your pelvic floor, the place where we hold, insecurity, fear, anxiety. But it's also the place of our stability and our grounding, of our confidence. Just take a few more breaths here, friends. And just before we come out of this, I'm going to bring the hands together, rub the palms together. I'm going to place these palms over the eyes. Just take a moment. You can let your fingers slide as you're rubbing your palms. So you activate the sides of your fingers or warm them, same thing. And then rest your palms over your eyes so you seal them into darkness. And then just taking a few breaths, just as you are. And as you're ready, you release your hands. You might want to rest them on your heart and your belly, just as we started class. And let this be this reminder that you've got this. You are here to support yourself through all of life's changes, through your focused, present awareness to everything you're going through. And we're literally just practicing for life here. It's building skills. Okay, so whenever you're ready, you can bend your knees, feet to the floor. I'm just going to press myself up. You want to roll to your side, just be conscious that you're on a height. And then we're just going to sit for a few moments. You can always sit on the edge of your bolster if you need to. Just let your eyes be heavy or close them. Hands can rest. Maybe bow your chin. Good. Okay. Let's take one more moment here. All right. Let's bring the hands together. Bow your chin. Rest your thumbs on your heart. Just gratitude for a moment. Simplicity of your breath. Okay, and releasing your hands, lifting your chin. And we'll move into our next pose. So I'm going to keep the bolster as it is. I'm just going to move mine up just so you can see everything. Okay, I'm going to take this blanket I had off. I'm going to open it up body size and just lay it down. I'm going to actually pop the end of the bolster underneath the blanket. Comme ça. And move the heating pad up. Just rested here. So here's what we're going to do. And I think we've all done this before. Is I'm going to come and sit, but it's more of a perch. And let me just adjust my blocks. Okay, so I still have this block on the second height. If you feel unstable, you could change it. So I'm sitting on the block. I'll put the hands down. As soon as I have the hands down, I'm going to lift the hips so I'm more on the sacrum. And then start to lay yourself down. So, if it's too much, you take your blocks. Oh, I just totally slid off my blocks. Okay, I'm going to say this. As long as you have one block under your hips, I totally fell off that other block, but this feels pretty good for me, so I'm just going to stay. Okay, feel that you're, like we did Setu Bandha restorative the other day, and that your upper chest, your shoulders are on the floor, and the hips are supported, maybe just on one block, or if you got both blocks, awesome. If you didn't, it's totally fine. Just find your place, and then we'll take the arms out. So almost the opposite of what we started with. So now we have the hips lifted. Okay, I'm just going to put this low block on its second height so we get a little bit more. You make your own adjustments. So your sacrum is supported. The bolster is making everything nice and soft. It's too much for your back. You can take the bolster, everything out. Just give a little lift to your hips in some way. Okay, so let's take a few moments, let the body adjust to this shape. Now the head is grounded, back of your head resting on the floor. Didn't say to add a blanket, but if you need one, I hope you'll just find a way to bring that in. Okay, so now I've just kind of walked the feet a little wider, pigeon toeing the feet. And then I'm going to invite the knees to drop in towards each other. They might not touch, and that's just fine. We're just inviting in the rolling of the outer hips a little bit. I'm just going to be here for a few moments. Tuck your chin in a little bit more. Let the shoulders be evenly resting on the floor. Okay, any discomfort in your low back? If you need to make any adjustments, you're going to do that. Otherwise, just let everything rest, and maybe that might be enough. Just going to change the legs. Maybe you'll walk your feet wider. You might turn the heels in a little bit, toes out, and let the knees just drop out so that you're in like a modified Baddha Konasana, everything open. And just notice if that changes the breath or the ability to drop in more deeply into the shape. Okay. So we'll just take a few more moments here, and then feel free to adjust your legs to whatever place they're happier in. Keeping the muscles of your face soft, the back of your heart heavy, the front of your heart resting to the back of the heart. The breath is definitely working differently than it did in the last pose. So you can spend some time just acknowledging and feeling. You might even imagine that as you inhale, that breath is just feeding your head, creating space in your busy brain, softening what needs to be softened. Okay, so we're moving into our final few moments here. Okay. So this is optional. If you're ready, I'm just going to tell you how we're going to come out, but don't come out yet. We're going to come out by sliding ourselves backwards so that when we end the torso is on the floor, except the hips are just on the edge of this bolster. So you're welcome to do that now if you are ready to come out. But from here, I'm just going to heel toe the feet together-ish. They'll be right together. You might hold the block your hips are sitting on. I'm going to bring one knee in. See how that is. Maybe rest there. I'm not holding the knees, just in. Maybe the other leg will extend out. And just be there for a moment or two. And then just let everything be heavy. It's when you start to feel yourself kind of sink into this shape that you're going to switch legs. And you'll do that anyway. So I'll bring the left knee in, right foot to the floor. Maybe the right leg's going to stretch out a little bit. Doesn't need to be super dynamic. As I start to feel myself sink into this shape, then I'm going to bring both knees in and stretch the legs up. And that is optional. So I'm holding onto this block. That kind of helps to just find the support here and just take a few moments with the legs up if that's where you are. And just letting all the weight of your feet, it takes all your weight all day. Now we're just letting everything just drop down, the legs to the block, to your breath. Once you start to feel maybe the shoulders get a little heavier, the head a little heavier, maybe the back's going to start to open in some way or settle. And I'll just do maybe 3 more breaths here, 3, 5 more breaths. Yeah. Okay, so whatever you're doing, knees bent, or if you're already resting, you're doing good work. Okay, I'm just going to set the feet on the floor and then just wiggle yourself back. So you find torso back, whole back resting on the floor, but the hips are just gently supported by the edge of the bolster. You can always knock the blocks out if you like. Just lay my legs over this bolster, and that feels kind of nice. I still have 1 block in there. Whatever you're doing though is good. So just the hips are a little bit lifted, the whole back is resting. You could have feet on the floor, legs stretched, arms out to the side or resting on your body. Good. And then just again, just scanning. Letting everything be heavy. Let's do 1 more or 5 more breaths if you're happy. And I'm just going to lift the hips and just take the bolster out or just push it away. Let the whole hip settle. Oh, my bolster's still here. I'm going to lay my legs on it nicely. And with now everything, the whole back, hips, everything on the floor. Just taking a few more breaths. Okay, so legs, however, feels good. I'm just going to take the fingers up to the forehead. And let's just offer some tapping from the center of your forehead to your temples. And you'll just lightly tap with your fingertips here a few times. Good. And then just rest the fingertips on the temples, and you can make circles if you like, figure 8s or whatever feels good here. And the next thing we're going to do is tap under the eyes, but you're going to stay on the bone. So just very light tapping from the center, like the sides of your nose, back to the temples, on the bone underneath your eyes, tops of the cheekbones, really. Do 1 more. Good. And then we'll let the fingers come to the center of your chin, and you can tap along the jawline if you like, but you could also just draw, smooth out the skin, let's say that, from the center of the chin out along the jawline a few times. Okay. And the next place we're going to go is to the heart. We'll just tap on the heart space. If you want to make noise, even if you're in your space, and might feel really good just to release a little bit. All right, and then let your hands rest. Feel if that has brought in a bit of more grounding for you. A little bit more awareness. Good. All right, our next pose will be, I'm going to bend the knees. I have my feet resting on the bolster, it's still here. I'm going to bring the knees into the chest and just hug them in, just to, release the back a little bit. So rock yourself side to side or circle your knees, just anything that would feel really good. Maybe you hold the knees, you draw 1 in, let it go, take the other one in, whatever feels good. Just stay in your soft, present state. Good. Okay. Well, our next pose is going to be twist, and it's going to take my feet, grab this bolster, pick it up, and then just drop it onto I'm going to start on my left side, and I'll just use my feet to kick the blocks out of the way. And we don't disturb the body too much. Good. Okay, so we're going to twist. You could just drop your knees over to the left if you want to use the bolster or not, it's there. I'm going to take a deeper twist, so you're welcome to follow with me. And place the left foot on the floor, cross the right knee over the left. You know this one. Arms out to the side. And I lift the hips, shift them to the right, drop the knees to the left. And just move that bolster anywhere or out of the way. Create for yourself a nice twist. So if this is not a nice twist, you unfurl it till it feels good. Head can turn gently to the right. Let's bring in that imagery of, twisting the foot right at the center. And here we're just twisting our body right at the center. Soften the right side. Let the breath be the main place of focus. How can it soothe you here? As we move into our final few breaths here, that's going to be about 5 breaths. See if you can gently elongate, deepen, fill yourself up a little more. How can you use each breath to heal whatever needs to be healed, to release what needs to be released, to remind you that you are grounded to something bigger than yourself. And here's my word I chose for 2022, and it's just been so pertinent lately. And the word is to trust. So you might have your own phrase or word that you chose that resonates for you, but you're welcome to use mine. To trust that all will be well. That doesn't mean we don't go through hard or trying times, or the world doesn't go through hard or trying times. One more big breath in and gently releasing as you breathe out, and just resting on your back, however you want your legs to go. I'm going basic resting, readjusting your hips. So walking the feet wide, pigeon toeing, letting the knees drop. Just take a few moments to feel. When I say all will be well, that doesn't mean, hard things don't happen. You just trust in the overall process. Okay, so if you use the bolster, just going to pick it up and move it over to the other side. And then if you want to come into twist the way we did, walk the feet together, keep the right foot on the floor, cross the left knee over the right, lift the hips, shift the hips to the left, drop your knees to the right, and support this however you need to, in a way that is supportive. Turn your head to the left a little bit, create for yourself the twist that you need. And then resting into the shape, literally, at the center, we're bringing it out with love, with compassion, with awareness, with the great flow of your breath, the power to heal and reveal. The power to receive and release simultaneously. Without taking tension into the face, without working the third eye space, that's that where you get the stress lines right there. You bring it into the center. What does that mean? Sometimes we don't really need to know more than we know. We build this trust with our bodies with our breath. Sometimes we feel betrayed by our bodies, when things happen that we can't control or don't feel right, or injuries or illness, all these things that are great gifts of just owning a body. Breathing into your fullness and your wholeness. Even as we wring it out in center. It's dropping into your final few moments of this twist. Release what you can, friends. Release what you can. Okay. And taking your time, gently making your way back onto your back. Just resting there in your linear shape. Okay, so feel in what you'd like to do. You want to hug the knees in or stretch the legs out, or even a gentle windshield wiper. Just take a few moments to be, straight on your back. No support except maybe something underneath your head. Okay, so before we move into Shavasana, we're just going to stay on the floor as we are. You can stretch your legs out, but create space between your legs. Open them a little wider. Let the feet just flop. Maybe the arms are going to stretch out to the sides, or maybe even a little bit above whatever shoulder height is. Palms face up into this great surrendering pose. You don't need to understand everything. You don't need to control anything here. Just opening up to this offering of grounding and the support of the unseen forces above. Feel the power of your breath. If you'd like to stretch your arms out, extend your legs, just stretch and then soften. One more full breath in. Sigh it out through your mouth. And before we move to Shavasana, take your hands to your third eye space, and you might just rest the backs of the nails together. And then just pressing into the third eye. And then we're just going to rake these fingers from the third eye. So you're not tapping now, you're actually painting lines to the temple. From the third eye to the temple. Do it 3 times. And smoothing out all those worry and stress lines. Maybe 4 times, or maybe 5 times. Good. And then resting your hands as we started, one on the heart, one on the belly, just for 2 breaths. You can keep your hands as they are as you bend your knees, place your feet on the floor. Good. Okay. And then we'll set up for Shavasana. If you're happy as you are, you can bring the bolster in. I'm just going to roll to the side and press up, and then just readjust whatever props you need for a restful Shavasana. So you might want to cover yourself. That's a nice thing to do. Heating pad's always a nice thing to do. So we'll take the bolster in for underneath the knees, and then replace the blocks for supporting the feet. So just have the heels. You can do however you like. I'm going to place the heels on the blocks. The bolster goes more under the calves than the thighs. Cover up. That's where you're going. Okay, a little eye covering is nice. If you need to rest your hands on your body, you could do any of the mudras we did, where you interlace the fingers and rest them, whatever you like, even what we did in the other class, with thumbs and the index fingers touching, or arms out to the side. Let your feet be relaxed, legs relaxed. And I'm going to give you this mantra just as we start to rest in here. And the mantra, those of you who are with me in Guatemala, we did this in our cacao ceremony. The mantra is, my heart is opening. And just feel what that does to your heart. As you inhale, you think, my heart is opening. And then and let that go with your exhale. Just do that a few times or as many times as you need. And settling into your rest. Just feeling yourself resting. Feeling into what you need. You need to stay here, or if you're ready to come out, let it be very conscious awakening. So you just really tune in to every little movement you need to make. You know the way. Taking your time so you honor everything you've done up until this moment by not speeding the awakening process. As you come to rest on your side, whenever you get there, just inviting in that heaviness once again. And then you'll make your way to sitting when you feel ready. So no rush, no rush. And once you do come up, just take the time to feel what you've done. Feel into your, I'm going to say, lightness of being. And whenever you're ready, friends, you can bring these hands to rest at your heart, or you can hold your heart with your hands. So whatever you feel you need right now, you invite that in. If we put the hands together in front of the heart, it's like you're holding your heart in your hands. And so whichever position you're holding your heart, just reminding yourself your tender, loving heart, to breathing into that, emanating more love out into the world, into your world, ever expanding. And to that, friends, we'll seal this practice with our May We Be Blessed mantra. And inhale, lengthen tall. May we be blessed with loving kindness. May we be well. May we be peaceful and at ease. May we be healthy and may we be happy. And we'll seal that with one Om. Inhale. Exhale your breath into your hands. Bow your chin. Lifting your chin, open your eyes, and offer this to yourself. And we'll offer it out from your heart, from your place of relaxation and presence, and great love, great honoring. And while it is a privilege to be able to practice, it is essential in some way. So I honor your practice and I honor your presence. And thank you so much, you guys, for all you do. Okay, be well. See you. Be well. Be well. I'll see you soon. Love you all. Have a good day, guys.